The street is our second home. Anyone who works through the night knows the darkness keeps secrets nobody dares to tell. Between car rides, clients who vanish without paying, and the distant eyes that judge us, we also deal with something that isn't human, something that hunts those who live off the job. It started with Paula, who always stood at her spot near a busy avenue. One cold night, a black car pulled up slowly in front of her. The windows were so dark you couldn't see inside. The passenger door opened by itself, and a man's voice called her name. Not "Hey girl," not "baby," her name. The detail is she had never seen that car before, and she had never said her name out loud on that corner. Terrified, she stepped back, and the car vanished without a sound. Then came Juliana's story. She usually worked in a side alley, more discreet. One night, she swore a client appeared without her ever hearing him approach. A man in a suit, his skin unnaturally pale, eyes so deep it seemed he hadn't slept in centuries. He offered her more money than she could make in several nights. But something was wrong. Her watch, stuck at 2 in the morning, never ticked forward when he was around. The hands just froze. When she backed away and said no, he only smiled. She blinked once and the alley was empty, as if he had never existed. I had my own experience. I was at my usual spot when a woman approached me. She wasn't a client, and she wasn't another girl. She wore old-fashioned clothes like from another era. Her hollow eyes fixed on mine as she whispered, "You're in my place." I thought she was crazy, but when I turned to answer, she was gone. I asked the other girls if they had seen her. They all swore I had been standing there alone, but the worst was Camila's story. She got into a car with a man who seemed normal. They drove for several minutes until he turned onto a deserted street. When she looked at him through the rearview mirror, she realized he had no face. Where his eyes, mouth, and nose should have been, there was only smooth skin like wax. Camilla threw herself out of the moving car, scraping her arms and legs on the asphalt. She swears if she hadn't, she wouldn't be alive to tell the story. Over time, we understood these weren't isolated cases. Many of us, women of the night, have seen shadows cross the sidewalks, heard voices calling us by name, or stepped into cars that disappeared, never to be found again. The fear doesn't only come from the police or violent men. The greater fear comes from what hides in the midnight hours, from what chooses to approach the most vulnerable. Working the street is more than risking your body. It's risking your soul, because the night isn't made only of concrete streetlights and headlights. It has owners, and they don't like to share their space with anyone.